Hey, what's happening, guys? It's Sanjoku. Just wanted to come at you tonight with a quick draft update. A few things came across that I saw, so I wanted to put it out there for everybody. Put my opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think about it. I'm not going to waste too much time. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe. I do really appreciate that. I love just watching this channel grow. It's already grown way bigger than I ever thought it would get to, so I don't know. It gets me pumped up, so I appreciate everybody that subscribed to it already. But let's go ahead and jump into this. A few days ago, or the other day, the NFL went and did their virtual draft out there, and it went about as good as you would expect it to go. It was a complete shit show, for the lack of a better term. I guess the very first pick, I mean, everything just got backed up. The internet kept crashing on them. I'm really curious to see what happens. I know all the kinks will be worked out, so I'm really not too worried about it. I think the show itself will end up going off without a hitch. I mean, you got a bunch of people that know exactly what the hell they're doing that are going to make this thing go off perfect. But it was just funny to see. But I wanted to talk to you guys about it because all the GMs were on the phone, all the owners were out there, they were testing everything. How many deals do you think were actually cut throughout that process? Hey, Chris, what's going on, man? How are you doing? Because I'm willing to guess that those guys were on the phone talking and then just kind of looking at the draft board like, hey, if this was the draft board, would you pull this trade? Because I guarantee you that it was going on. I guarantee it. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think some deals have already been made because of that little pre-mock draft, practice draft that they ended up having to do. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was, did you see those players' draft kits that they got shipped to their houses? That was insane, dude. It was like $2,000 worth of shit stuffed in, just mailed to your house to set up for the draft. And I guarantee they get to keep that stuff. Joe Mama, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show tonight. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you think the draft is going to end up being like just a complete disaster. I really think it's going to end up being fine. There's not a doubt in my mind about it. But I'm just curious to see what you guys think about it. Oh, Grimy, what's happening, dude? That show was awesome earlier, dude. You should go live more. I promise you that. You're good at that shit. The next thing I want to jump into, I saw it. Gabe Jackson and PJ Hall have both been talked about being traded throughout this draft. PJ Hall was the new one. We talked about Gabe before. I really think that you could take your first two picks and then package something like Gabe in a fifth and sneak into that second round if you wanted to. I think that's a real possibility. There's a lot of good offensive linemen out there. And for as shitty as it would be and as angry as it would make me if we took an offensive lineman with one of those top picks, but then we're able to trade Gabe Jackson, cut that salary out, move into the second, and end up grabbing somebody that way, I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm not even going to sit there and lie about it. And then PJ Hall, he was new. That was the new name that I heard out there today. He might be able to package him with something and move into like a third round. I don't see us getting too much value out of him. I know a lot of people in the nation still like him. I'm kind of done with him. If he got traded throughout the draft, I wouldn't be terribly upset about it. But he is still super young, and the kid does have a lot of potential, and working under a new defensive coordinator could make a big difference for somebody. So I'm pulling for both these guys to stay on the team. I don't want to see it mess with too much, but if the value's there, there's no reason for us not to take one of those trades. The next thing I want to talk about real quick was Ruggs. Came out there today and said he's been in constant contact with the Raiders. So, I mean, you guys know it. I'm not as high on Ruggs as a lot of you guys are, but I know a ton of you guys out there truly want him to be that receiver that we take in this draft, which, I mean, I could see it. After you guys have talked about him so much and talked him up so much, I went out there, I watched more tape on him, studied him a little bit better. I still don't think he's the number one receiver in this draft by any means, but if we ended up taking him, especially if we can get him at 19, I think that would be pretty cool. Oh, Mitchell, what's going on? So let me know what you guys think, because I know a lot of you want Ruggs, but I mean, the Raiders have probably been in constant contact with 30 or 40 of these guys. So him coming out and saying that kind of made no difference, just because he was willing to go out there and announce it to everybody, and they started talking about us taking him at 12. But at the same time, I'm sure we've been in constant contact with Lamb and Judy and probably a few other people out there in this draft, just keeping them in our minds, letting them know, like, hey, the Raiders are out here, we're thinking about taking you. I wouldn't read too much into that one, but he did come out there and say it, so that is what it is. Ultimately, I hope they get the best wide receiver, and that's pretty much it. Stumbling, what's going on, man? If they can go out there and just get one of these top dudes, that's all you can really ask for. And then that opens up the entire rest of the draft for us, so I'm fine with losing Hall. I like him, but Jackson is our youngest starter on the O-line. We have some solid depth on the O-line, but I can't see us trading our youngest starter. I mean, that is true. I mean, he is super young. He's not as young as like Colton Miller out there. And I mean, he did decline. He was fighting through injury. I'm pulling for Gabe Jackson. I think he's going to have a bounce back year, and I think he's going to end up being one of the pieces that totally solidify this or our offensive line. So I'm really not too worried about it. But if you have somebody come out there and offer you a high second rounder for Gabe and a fifth, dude, you have to take it. You can replace that with in the salary cut. That's the only reason that I see us possibly doing it, is because if we could dump his salary, it would free up a ton of money for us, especially going in back into free agency after the draft is over and seeing what players didn't make the other teams. So it could be a good money drop for us, but we'll have to see what happens with it. Then I wanted to touch on, I still see a lot of people out there talking about that we need to bring in another defensive tackle during this draft. A few people are saying that we're going to do it in the first round. I personally don't agree with that at all. I mean, that's just me. I just don't. But at the same time, I don't think we need a defensive tackle at all on this team. But a lot of people are talking about Kinlaw and like the difference maker and the game wrecker he could be. And there's a few other D tackles out there that everybody's talking about. So I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on that one. You can either throw it in the comment section or just hit me up afterwards, because I'm just trying to gauge the draft as we keep going forward. And then the other question I had just about the draft for you was, who do you think is going to be our number 2 running back? Because that is right now a huge, huge void on our team. And there's a lot of possibilities for a ton of players out there. But I guess my question would be, if we went out and did not get a running back in the draft, is there somebody out there on free agency or somebody on the trade market that you'd like to see us make a move for? I'm not going to lie. I think if we can get Leonard Fournette at the right price, I mean, I know we don't have like pretty much any money right now, but it comes down, you make these draft day trades, and then all of a sudden you free up a bunch of cap and you could bring in somebody like that. I don't know. I just want a cool 1-2 punch out there with Jacobs, and I'd be happy with a rookie. I'd be happy with bringing somebody in. Just want to get your guys' opinions on it, so let me know what you think about that. Stumbling says CD's the GOAT. CD's, I truly hope we get him. Do you want Chase Young? Dude, everybody in the NFL wants Chase Young, Joe Mama. There is zero possibility that he drops to us, and there is no chance we trade up to the second round pick to get him, or the second pick in the draft to get him. Rich, what's happening, man? I'm more scared about Judy hanging around AB. Whew, man, hopefully he just goes and works out with him. I mean, the dude knows how to work out. I will give that to AB. And if he's out there just training with him, but if he lets him inside his head, that shit's over. Like, over. Zephan Zayos with CD. So many people just want CD. Kirby, what's going on, man? Gruden wants to be rid of McKenzie's legacy. That's why he wants to get rid of Gabe. I don't know. Part of me agrees with you, but I do like Markel Lee still riding this roster. I think Gruden's just out there nailing talent down, and I think now he has Mayock helping him do it. So I think at first it was a purge. I mean, you really can't argue it, but a few dudes were able to stick around, and they were a few of probably the best dudes on our team. But now you're starting to see them get washed out a little bit too. But as long as Lee's out there, man, I'm holding faith. Oh. And that's what I said. We don't need a D tackle. Yeah, I don't think we need one too, man. I truly don't. Number 2, Zach Moss or A.J. Dillon. I mean, you guys know where I stand. Both those dudes are damn good. I'd rather see Dillon out there just because he is more of that true power back out there. And that's the perfect compliment to somebody like Jacobs, since Jacobs is the kind of guy that can do both. Man, I can see 3 wide receivers. That's very possible. I could see a damn draft where we went out there and got nothing but receivers and cornerbacks. That's truly the biggest need out there for us. I think we could honestly struggle by without getting that third linebacker, even though I want to see that so damn badly, especially if it's Murray or Queen. Yeah, a power back. Dude, a true power back. That is what this team needs right now. Antonio Gibson would be a sweet pick at 121. That's very true. And bringing somebody like that in that late could end up being huge for our team. Gruden is a joke. His scheme is being called out by defenses and thought I hated Musgrave. At least he allowed Carr to cut it loose. Dude, I personally loved Musgrave. Like, I know a lot of people gave him shit because they didn't pull him out. They didn't pull Carr out of that game where he broke his leg and we were beating that ass that game. But I don't know, dude. I'll give it to you. Gruden needs to prove something to me. He better have all his damn pieces. I believe in Mayock, not Gruden. I'm honestly pretty much right there with you. I would love to see us, and Watts commented on this in one of his videos earlier, or might have been earlier this week, where I'd like to see another offensive coordinator come in there. I do agree with Watts on that. It would be cool as shit to see a true OC come in there, but Gruden will never give up that power. As long as he's the head coach, he will be the offensive coordinator, and whoever our active OC is going to be nothing more than a Gruden puppet. And that's just the way that it is out there. Would you trade up to get Isaiah over staying at 12 to get CD or someone? Damn, that is a good question. Isaiah's a generational player, but I would hate to see us move up to get him and then miss out on so many other things that we need. Like the difference between getting CD Lamb on this team and the impact he would make, or getting Isaiah on that defense and the impact he would make. I truly feel like you would get more impact, especially in a win now mode. Like I feel like the Raiders are right now. I think you would get just more value out of the wide receiver and just a playmaking position at this point right now. What do you think about Gronk going to Tampa Bay? Dude, that blew my mind. And then, I'm curious to see if the physical works out. I'm curious to see if the whole thing's even real. You got to think to yourself, Gronk is a WWE champion right now. A lot of people don't realize that. Went out there and won himself a belt when he was at WrestleMania doing his show. So, dude could just keep wrestling, which I highly doubt. I don't know if he's going to play, but I'm curious to see. Stay at 12 and get Lamb or somebody else. Yeah, I mean, I would stay at 12, to be honest with you. Joe Mama, we in trouble because those Bucks are on the schedule. Dude, I'm curious to see what happens with the Bucks out there, because I will tell you right now, the team could end up having a powerful schedule, and a lot of it's going to fall on Brady. And I do not doubt Brady in any form. Like, do not think that. But he struggled last year. But he's going to have so many weapons around him. The Bucks could end up being an extremely dangerous team. I'm curious to see if Gronk actually makes a huge impact and what that does to O.J. Howard out there. Musgrave made the adjustments. Halftime adjustments, I'll give you that. There was a game, I'm drawing a blank on who we were playing. But he was our OC. We were losing. And then they were shutting down our passing game completely. And he went out there, and for 2 straight drives, he did nothing except throw to the damn running backs, streaking right up the middle. And it worked. We scored 2 touchdowns, we came back, and we won that game. And it was because Musgrave made that adjustment. Gruden wouldn't. He would keep doing exactly what he was doing until we lost that game, and that is what pisses me off about him. And I'm truly, truly hoping that we see something different. After Carr broke his pinky on his throwing hand. Yep. Oh, man. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys tonight. This wasn't going to be a real long video. I just wanted to come out there and put something out. And I'll probably do something quick tomorrow night. And then Thursday night after the draft, I will definitely be going live just to hang out with everybody. So that's what I got. Thank you guys all for tuning in, man. I truly, truly appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll bullshit. We'll break it down a little bit more. I'm Sanjoku. Thank you to everybody that came out tonight. You know I love that. We'll see you guys next time.